Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Circle City Conversations, Indiana's legal podcast. We are wrapping up the Cinco de Mayo Tour, our very first tour, here at Marc Lopez Law, where we started with Marc Lopez, Anthony Benitez, and Matt Kroes. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thanks for having us, Matt.
Absolutely. You're making me smile over here.
So, you remember last time we were here?
Yes, on
2
that
years
set.
ago?
No video. You guys have upped the game since this started. This is awesome. I'm really proud of you, man.
Well, dude, you're a freaking celebrity now. Last time we were here, you had like 5 YouTube followers, and now you're like a YouTuber, like a professional, man.
Making me blush.
They're paying you, aren't they?
Yeah, it's pretty neat. They get a check from YouTube, and we invest into the firm and just get more equipment, and it's awesome.
That's great.
Well, the money I paid Google though, so it's
Well, yeah. You're never going to see all of that back.
No, not even close.
Yeah. So, and we've got the full crew here. So I want to ask you guys, we'll start with you, Marc. Marc, what makes this team of lawyers here work?
You know, I'm looking at it right now. We have our core values on there, but the idea is we just want to do what's absolute best for the clients, and we put almost everything to the side to accomplish that. You know, Mr. Benitez has 2 kids. Mr. Kroes has 2 kids. I have 2 kids, and we've missed so many things.
Yeah.
And for their clients. And the cool thing is, because there are, we're just 3 of the attorneys here, but we have managed a situation where we can try to minimize our impact on family to accomplish what's best for the client. And so I know for a fact this gentleman has missed birthday parties, games, celebrations. This guy right here has missed so many things for his kids. And we recognize that's a sacrifice. And, we are a criminal defense firm. We have to have a lot of clients, and there's a lot of sacrifice to be made. And we do it willingly and happily. And it makes it easy when, our clients are good to us and keep us paid, respect our time to best ability they can. And but it's a lot of sacrifice, but we're willing to do that because we want to be the best.
I love that. So, Benitez, you talked about culture. How would you describe the culture here?
I think we work really hard. I mean, we work every day.
Yeah.
We work on the weekends. We work really hard. We work late. But we're together, like all 8 attorneys in our staff. I mean, whenever we take a case to trial, we talk about it, all of us, and we try to go through strengths and weaknesses. We try to tell our client's story. We help each other out. When somebody wins, we all win. When Matt has a jury trial win, it's us. We helped him, and obviously he did it, but we're a team. So when we lose, I mean, it's on us, But we're a team. We have a lot of fun. I mean, I know we're talking about the Cinco de Mayo. This past Friday, we had a little cookout for Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
We grilled out some carne asada, some chicken, and we brought some food in, and we had a good time. But we also have lunch together. We try to have lunch every day. It's hard, but we like each other. We have lunch. We talk about what we did over the weekend. We talk about cases. We talk about how can we solve this problem in a better way. We have a lot of fun here.
Yeah. And I think that piece of liking each other, I mean, lawyers have big egos, right? And so sometimes those clash. So it's important that you guys get along.
We have a crazy mix here too with attorneys. I mean, the 3 of us here are probably a little bit, I would say, the most outspoken, maybe most boisterous. Some might say flamboyant, if you will, of the group of us. But, for each one of us, we have someone else, who maybe be a little bit more even keeled, with Zach Bailey, who is another one of our partners. I mean, he is literally, he straight line every single time. Doesn't matter what. And we've got, Ben Shoptaw, who's 100% sarcastic and 2% serious half the time. Zach Ritchie, he tries to be a little bit boisterous, but he's kind of the young end of the group. And then we've got Nicole and Jen Blanco, kind of growing with us. And it's really cool to see kind of all our personalities being a little bit different, absent the maybe the 3 of us sitting here are probably the most similar. But it's really cool to see how all those different types of backgrounds, personalities mesh, and I think that kind of helps us.
Yeah, and I love that. And I was stepped outside, and there was a client out there, and I speak Spanish, so I understood what he was saying. And he was talking about a payment, and that brings me back to the days where we were trying to make sure that everyone was treated fairly, got free or got access to justice. So Mark, why is making justice accessible to your clients, especially a lot of the Hispanic and Latino clients that you represent? Why is that so important to you?
It's important for all of our clients, especially that segment, just because I feel like there's such a jump to conclusion that is not for us. It's not accessible. I'm charged. Nothing I can do about this. And I tell you what, when the state of Indiana charges our clients, and then when they put their evidence together, they know they need to have their stuff together. And this law firm is doing Mr. Benitez, so many trials this past 6 months. And all of us done so many trials. And it's just, you look on people's faces when you win a case, and they literally like, I didn't think this was even possible. I didn't think you could do this. I thought you was a done deal. I got arrested. I was finished. And then no, there is so many ways you can fight back, and not all of our cases go to trial. I don't want to imply that,
Right.
but we have seen a marked difference when prosecutors know you're going to go to trial.
Mm-hmm.
You get better deals, you get better things going on, and they know you're going to go the distance. And so we love bringing that back to everybody. And then people call us all the time, Mark, I know I'm guilty. There's nothing you can do for me. Listen, man, you're not a lawyer. You don't know what they can prove versus what we can show. And just when we do these, you're talking to three of the four people that do the most intakes. We're the ones that people talk to before they decide to hire us.
Yeah.
And just changing that dynamic in their brain. This is a foregone conclusion. There is hope. There is things we can do. It's not going to be as bad as you think. And it's just something I just, whenever I'm feeling lazy, whenever it's, 3:00 on a random day, I want to get out of here early. I just think about that, how I want my clients to know that we're trying hard. And I know these guys are working, and I just love that feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. You said it on the show before, love what you do and you'll never work a day in your life, right?
I truly believe that. I get here super early. I leave a little bit later, and it helps so much to have people that you like
Right.
be around. And,
Right. My family immigrated here from Cuba after Fidel Castro took over, and this government took everything from my family, and that attracted me to be a lawyer. Insurance companies can be like bullies, and they have a lot of resources behind them. Give us a call here at Hearst Limontes. We are protective of our clients because our clients matter and you matter. At Hearst Limontes, we're a firm that believes in people. We don't just talk about justice or fairness, we live it. The Indiana Fever are trailblazers. They inspire not only in how they play, but how they lead in our Indiana community. Being a father changes everything. Supporting the Fever is one way that I show my kids what it means to believe in fairness, to believe in respect and possibility. At Hearst Limontes, we believe in those same things. The Fever stand for resilience, grit, determination, and heart. They aren't just a basketball team. They're a symbol of what's possible when you refuse to give up. Their impact ripples far beyond the court, and you can see it in the energy, pride, and hope that they create in our city. Whether you're a young girl dreaming of playing in the WNBA or a kid in a small town dreaming of becoming a lawyer, you belong. This partnership is proof of that. At Hearst Limontes, we believe in standing up for those people that are overlooked. From court to court, Hearst Limontes is your winning team. So let's talk a little bit about you guys. This is a little quick segment. All right. So who is the most competitive in the office?
No, I think we're all competitive.
Yeah.
I just told you, I just hate losing.
You hate.
I hate losing.
Yeah.
People say that you have to love winning. No, I hate losing.
Yeah.
I hate losing. I hate losing with everything, and I will do everything in my power never to lose.
Yeah.
But no, I think we're all pretty competitive.
Mm-hmm. Your trial style, okay? Matt versus Benitez. What's the biggest difference in your trial styles there?
Well, Benitez and I kind of hinted at this earlier. We have very, very similar styles.
Mhm.
We very big presence in the courtroom as far as voice goes. We like to tell a story. We like to be loud. We like to kind of, relate it back. Him and I I would say Mr. Benitez and I probably are the two closest as far as trial would go.
No, I mean I agree. I think maybe Matt is a little bit louder than me in court, but I think our yeah, we're about the same. I mean, yeah, we're about telling a story and bringing emotion into it, bringing facts into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done trials with both of these gentlemen, and I can tell you right away, juries like them.
Yeah.
And some of our clients, they're not the most lovable, and so you need to have the attorney that the jury can put in that. The jury needs to be able to see the client through the person they like, and that's these two.
Yeah.
Everybody at this law firm, this trial is good at that, but these two are so good at that. And then you can just see, we do a closing argument, and the prosecutors know this. You're gonna go back to that room, and we're doing a closing argument. We got to say, hey, we have to sit down, but the state gets to get back up here, and they get one more crack at you. But you know what? When you go back to that room, I need you to think, what would Anthony Benitez say? What would Matt Kroes say? And I know they're doing that back there because they like these guys and they're smiling. The courtroom isn't always a place for jokes, but if you get them to like you, it's so much easier for them to say the words "not guilty." And then even when you're pleading guilty, if the prosecutors like you because you show up on time, you're respectful, you are fun to be around. You're not just some always being mean. It's easier for prosecutors to say yes.
Yeah.
When you don't like it, I've been a prosecutor. It's so easy to say no. It's so easy, but it's hard to say no if you like somebody. And so these guys are great at that.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you guys are doing any family law?
No.
Here?
No.
Have you ever done any?
I did like 3 cases, and then I was like, I told my wife, I'm like, listen, I'd rather not do law than do family.
He's like, I'm gonna go sell some insurance, y'all.
I give so much respect to family law attorneys, and we were friends with lots of family law attorneys, and God bless them. Man,
hard.
I couldn't do that, and people just fighting over everything. I just like fighting over freedom. Hey, that's it. That's all I need. Fighting over salt shaker, fighting over 401ks, fighting over last names of kids. I couldn't do it.
Oh man, you mentioned you guys are doing all the intakes, so not all of them, but most of them. Who is the best closer in the office? Who can close the deal?
I think Mark has numbers. I would say me. He would say himself.
I would
Mark
actually
would say.
I don't know if I would say myself. I think I would go you, then I have to say Mark.
Being humble.
No. Mark and I were talking about this yesterday, and Zach Bailey, he does the other part of our intake.
Mm-hmm.
So, the 3 of us and Zach Bailey are probably 100% of our intake department. I would put Mark ahead of me, but by design, that's just because he gets, I might do a little bit more because he spent, 12 years. I don't even know, probably even longer than that, primarily doing it. Now it falls, to me, and then, if I can't get it, to Bailey, and if Bailey can't get it to Mark. So we kind of have this trickle down. My goal is to make sure that that Mark doesn't get a call. That's my biggest thing. So Mark's numbers are a little bit probably higher, but anytime he doesn't close the deal or something like that, his numbers will skew significantly more than what mine would do. So I would say Benitez, Mark, then me.
Okay.
I have the numbers knowing exactly, but I don't want
Yeah.
to send anybody.
Okay.
So Matt's 100% right. So our intake department, I think it's important that, and there are attorneys disagree with me on this. I think it's important that before somebody hires, they talk to an attorney.
Yes.
I don't like this. I have a salesperson. I don't like that. And
I think
so
it's unethical.
I think it's I'm not a snitch and I'm not a police. But I think it's important because at the end of the day, we have to be in the courtroom with them. And I just, I know sometimes I've taken cases and the attorneys have come to me and be like, this case is not what I was thinking. I get it, but that's answerable to me. I don't want anyone to be like, well, staff member X, he assigned this person. I don't like that. So me, Matt, Bailey, and Benitez, we are the intake attorneys, but we have people helping us. I don't want you thinking we're doing everything because we would go crazy. These guys care a lot about this law firm, but it is my law firm.
Yeah.
And it is something I started this, and this is like my first child. And so when I think people, Matt cares, Benitez cares, I care. And it's easy for me to tell people, hey, hire us. 'Cause I really do believe if you don't hire us, you're making a mistake. So,
Right. All right, guys. Couple quick fire questions. Matt, bench trial or jury trial?
Jury trial, 100%.
Mark?
jury trial, sometimes you get some DUI cases with some weird little fact patterns. You can kind of get some bench trial action, but
Yeah.
jury.
What about you?
Just jury.
Jury trial?
Yep. More fun.
What about, are you early morning or late night person?
Both. You ask my wife, I can't sleep. So I mean, my brain's always on. And 2 kids, I've always been an early riser, and I'm probably both.
Yeah. What about
My kid tucks me into sleep 9 o'clock.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
tucking me in that blanket. I'm up at like 5 o'clock though, but yeah, early to bed, early to rise here.
Yeah.
Late.
Late.
I hate sleep.
Yeah.
Boring. Overrated.
What about, this is a good one, coffee or energy drinks?
For me, it's coffee.
Yeah.
Coffee.
Coffee.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Ben Shoptaw though, pound those energy drinks.
So
is Richie.
Between him and Richie, they're so single-handedly could keep the energy drink business alive.
Yeah, they got white, they got flavors I ain't even heard of.
Yeah.
I'm reading it. Like, what is this? Yeah, it's pretty crazy. To each their own, right?
Right. What about misdemeanor or major felony?
For me, misdemeanor. I think they're less stress.
Yeah.
Major felony. You're talking about life-altering time. Decades in prison, ruining someone's life. I mean, the pressure there is just completely immense.
Yeah.
Misdemeanors, which by and large is what we do. Misdemeanor, felony 6s. I mean, we have major felonies, but I mean, a vast majority of our cases, we always call them the fun crimes. Because
That's an internal term of art.
I call them, we call them the fun crimes, if you will. Most of the time,
You had a good time doing it.
Yeah.
Got real wasted. Had a great time.
Society's the victim. It's I know. I also choose misdemeanor only because it's easier to convince somebody to do a jury trial on a misdemeanor.
Yeah.
Because with a felony, it's like Matt said, yeah, I'm looking. What do you mean 2.5 years?
Oh, yeah.
And so you tell someone misdemeanor, but listen, this is why you're not going to go to jail. I can't guarantee that, but this is why. It's so much easier to get a jury trial, and we love trials. I mean, it's just, even a bench trial is easier than misdemeanors because people get so freaked out about years. But I mean, you got a different dynamic. What do you?
I'll go with felony. More pressure. Give me the pressure.
Yeah. You like that? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the client, if you win, the client's gonna be happy no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
But if he was facing a significant amount of time and you beat the case,
Yeah.
bro, that hug gets tighter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, they'll go out and say that you're the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is better and louder than any billboard commercial or anything, that client. So no, this, I love this. So, I want to wrap up today. I do want to ask you one question specific to OVWIs. Yes. Especially because I know you guys do a lot of those. Have you ever had a situation where a prosecutor tried to make an OVWI case without a BAC?
Yes.
All the time.
Just on the signs.
Yes.
What is there mixed success on that? does it depend on the county? Is it just a bunch of factors that you look at? Because to me, I feel like there's got to be a BAC.
So these guys have different. Now, in my mind, I'm not. We don't have a BAC and we don't have a drug lab saying they're impaired. We just have signs of intoxication,
Bloody, bloodshot eyes, things like that. Disheveled clothing.
We've had those going to trial when persons admitted to things they shouldn't admit. They've pled the fifth to be a lot easier. But sometimes not having that allows the officer to say, well, I smelled alcohol. We don't have the BAC because they're so uncooperative, or the machine broke that night and then we couldn't get blood. So the absence of evidence even makes it even more bold on the state's part.
Really?
And so I will say those type cases usually get worked out ahead of time, so long as there's not a crash, so long as someone doesn't have prior, so long as there's not just some sort of extenuating circumstances. And that's what my experience has been. But these two in the courtroom more often than me lately. So, I mean.
For the last one I had, we had to do a jury trial.
You did?
Yeah. In
Those are when
Vigo County. Yeah. Not guilty.
What county?
Vigo.
Oh, down
That was a
there. Yeah.
police officer.
Yeah. That was a police officer.
Yeah, I remember when those first came in, and I mean, I was a PD, so, and I would see that and be like, how are you arresting this person? You know, they refused, or but
And it's so easy to get a warrant.
Yeah.
It's just boilerplate. You fill in the blanks, and then I know the judges are reviewing because I've seen judges reject the warrants, but it's so easy to get a warrant, and so it's almost unacceptable for an officer not to get a warrant for, like, it has to be. I mean, juries want that too. Juries literally, every time I've ever done a jury trial with a BAC or a drug lab, first question, where's the lab? And we make a giant deal about that during opening and closing too. So
right. No, that's great, man. So, last question. You guys are the final stop on the Cinco de Mayo tour, of course. And I have to ask you this. What does it mean to be part of the Indianapolis legal community right now to you?
right now I feel like the rule of law is just under attack. And so I think I feel like the Indianapolis legal community is doing a great job coalescing, getting together. I think there's a rally last week, but also just, the fact that you have attorneys like these two going to court and holding the state to their burden, that shows no matter what's going on externally, there is still the rule of law that applies.
Right.
And for criminal law, I mean, it matters for everything, but criminal law means so much because it's not about money at that point. It's about freedom. And even in the cases that no one's going to go to jail, it still impacts them because it still has future consequences. So, anything to add on that?
No, I would agree entirely.
Me too. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to your point, we were talking about a guy that could have lost his CDL license, or was it? Yeah. I mean, you're talking about these people that, and I mean, these CDL drivers, we've represented them before. They make 6 figures a year.
Yeah.
And you just take that from them.
Yep.
Over
and that skill doesn't transfer.
Right.
I mean, we've had some success getting CDL drivers working with their company, doing some warehousing, unloading. We don't make the same money you do, and we tell people. People talk on the CDLs all the time, nonstop callers for drunk driving cases. And it's like, hey, listen, you're going to be one of the most serious cases we have here because we know this is going to change your life. And that's not every DUI is always life altering, but CDL drivers, that's a lot of stress. It's just a lot of stress.
Well, and especially with the CDL drivers, and going back to the earlier question about not having a BAC, about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe even earlier than that, you got a lot of these counties that'll, somebody gets arrested for a DUI, it might test hot on the PBT, which never gets in,
Right.
but they're going to assume the blood's going to come back with something. Then they would just charge the DUI while they're waiting on the blood labs, and then the state comes in. I mean, this is primarily true about CDL drivers because, I mean, once once that license suspension goes, or a trucking company figures out you have a pending DUI, you're out, and the state will file. They won't have these results, and then we get to a trial. I mean, here, that's a huge red flag to us, and we try to push those to trial as fast as possible. I don't need a pretrial conference. Like, you filed the case, let's go.
Right.
And
No, wait a second. We don't have the blood yet. Don't you want to see the blood before? No. I want to see more bad evidence.
They should have the blood before they file the damn thing.
Do that.
And I mean, I can't tell you how much I call it legal grandstanding in court that we've had to do, because I mean, the state will file, we ask for a bench trial, we show up, the state goes, hey, we don't have blood labs back, we need a continuance. Judge goes, okay, cool. And then it continues at 5 months. And then, you got these, sure, it might not matter to, I mean, it matters to me as the attorney, but I mean, you got a CDL driver, it's 5 more months of no driving. And if you get convicted, it's another year on top of that, because you lose your, if it's the first time DUI, you lose your CDL for a year. So you're not driving while it's pending. If you get convicted, you're not driving. So, you see so much legal grandstanding to try to get the judges to see, because the judge, hey, Matt, hey, Mr. Benitez, your client's out of jail. What does it matter if I continue the case? He's not sitting in jail. He's out free to do whatever he wants. It takes so much effort. And so, that's what, we're all so good at, well, there are ramifications outside of,
Correct.
Just being out of jail. I mean, you got to see, CDL is a perfect example. They can't drive. Judge, that's 5 more months of not having a 6-figure salary. That's 5 more months of not being able to provide for someone's family. And then luckily we finally started getting the judges to side with us a little bit. Like, okay, maybe that is true. Maybe there is outside extenuating circumstances that are affecting people that are charged with a crime. Right. And, maybe it's affecting them getting a job. They see pending charges, and, most people are ignorant to what's going to happen. Like, oh, well, you could go to jail, so I'm not going to hire you.
Yeah.
If 3 months into it, you're going to jail for a month or whatever. Or I'm not hiring you to drive a truck if you're going to lose your license in a year. So, I mean, you have all these circumstances that, a lot of people failed to realize. And finally, we started to see a little bit of a turn where they would have to hold the state's feet to the fire on this stuff. So, specifically with the CDLs, I'm happy to see that kind of turn, but then it, kind of makes things a little bit harder because, cases, blood labs are backed up. Right. God knows how.
And there's somebody listening to this podcast is saying, oh, boo-hoo, they shouldn't drink and drive. But you know what? They're innocent until proven guilty. And I hate that attitude. Well, they shouldn't. Like, no one's guilty until they're guilty. So, if you're a lawyer and you thought that, oh, boo-hoo, shouldn't drink. Listen, you took an oath. Remember that. And innocent until proven guilty. And they're guilty, hey, punish them accordingly. But you shouldn't be punishing people before then. So I agree with everything he just said.
Yeah. Well, that's wonderful, gentlemen. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me
Final
again.
stop. I'm so happy.
The final stop. That is a wrap on Circle City Conversations Cinco de Mayo Tour. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future conversations.